Hello guys, welcome back to part 2 of Crazy Amazing Video Game Bosses. Today, the boss that we're going against is the Doomsday Zone from Sonic 3. This was the first ever level to start the tradition of Super Sonic being mandatory to use for the final boss. Let's get going. And we can play it. Now, with a little bit of input lag here, we're gonna have some trouble. Once again, I'm still getting this all set up. And we're just kind of swerving around. Another one where I can tell you, the atmosphere is amazing in this boss. I mean, there is no atmosphere, you're in space, but I'm being figurative. Okay. What I'm basically saying about this level is that it's amazing. I talked about in the last episode how Undyne's fight in Undertale had a lot of build up to this. This had kind of build up in terms of gameplay, where you basically spend a chunk of the game replaying it to get all the Chaos Emeralds in order to be able to actually chase down Eggman in space. Or Robotnik, as he was known at this time. And you take Chase to space, and you gotta defeat him in his final mech here. Should not be too difficult. You just gotta hone these missiles into him, make sure he hits himself in the face about 6 times. It's kind of hard because of some of these bullets, and the fact that only one can hit at a time. And you just kind of have to trace around him until one just happens to hit into his face. Like, you just want it to be... You just need to swerve around him and stay right above his head, so it's more likely that I'll target there. I will probably die this life because I am doing horrible compared to normal, but that's okay. And as you can see, we're taking Chase to him now, and we have to get 8 hits on this reincarnation of Death Egg Robot from Sonic 2. This game here being Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and this boss is much shorter than Undyne. So this episode will probably just be shorter, and we might refight it a couple times. But basically, that's the whole fight. It's quick, but that's only because I've beaten this fight about 10 times. When I used to do it a couple years ago, I was absolutely horrible. I could not get past that first homing missile thing. And I would kind of just fly up to it and just sit there. It was horrible. But I eventually learned how to do it. And now, as you can see, it was pretty easy that time. And we restore the floating island. This is the end of the game. And since that was a pretty short fight there, we're gonna do one more as just a good example of game-ending fights. I will see you guys at it. This video is Sonic Mania Plus and its final boss, which is truly something. Truly a wonder of modern gaming. And now we will be playing. Well, you can't skip straight to the final boss in this one unless you access debug mode, which I have no memory of. Not debug mode. You have to do a goal. You have to get to sound test mode. I will get to you guys again when I get there. This might be a mess. Welcome to the level select. You can pick any level in the game from here. We are going to the final boss. And you can also switch your character. Why am I Knuckles? Like, why am I Knuckles? Okay. We're switching around. My boy is Tails. We're going with him. If he's even playable. I don't remember if you can play as him in this final stage. Let's get going to Egg Reverie. Now, I find this one another cool boss once again. Lead up to it. The whole game you've been seeing this powerful Phantom Ruby, and Eggman and his own creation are fighting over it because Eggman's creations always fight over it. Your job is to beat both of them. Eggman's creations always turn on them is what I mean. And your job is to beat up both of these guys and steal the ruby from them so they can stop causing absolute chaos and havoc all over the place. And I am losing rings like crazy because I keep trying to boost into these guys. Don't ever try boosting in this stage. Something I need to say because it makes you lose a ton of rings. And it makes me scared to jump because whenever I jump, I'm scared I'm gonna boost afterwards, and that's just gonna end my run, and that's scary. The time is also going all berserk here, so not only does this boss have lead up to it, it's also incredibly fun getting to control the super characters. And unlike Sonic 3, you can play as any character in this level, any of the game's characters, instead of having to deal with only it being playable with Sonic for some reason. And, I mean, that is an amazing thing. I mean, it was probably for story reasons in Sonic 3, but you can still say Tails defeated Eggman. That's not super weird. He's done it in a lot of games. And by that, I mean, like, a couple. And by that, I mean, like, a couple. And I'm dead. Yeah. Okay. But this level has everything it needed to just be amazing. Not to mention this song is probably one of the best in the game. And this little cutscene appears before it. Like I said in the past, I am a huge Sonic fan, as you probably know if you're watching this channel by now. So this fight, the first time I got to this fight, it felt so crazy and amazing because I've been trying to collect all the Chaos Emeralds for well over a year at that point, and I just never finished it or got around to it. And whenever I would try, I would fail all the special stages that you need to collect all the Chaos Emeralds. But after getting better at the game, this eventually happened, and I reached this stage, and it feels so amazing to finally be doing it. I had seen tons of videos of people just doing this stage, and all I saw was, wow, this is cool. It's kind of hard, but not too horrible. I want to do it. Another level I struggled with for longer than I would like to admit. But after I got it, it was one of those where, unlike the last one where after I got it, it was easy to do from then on, this one still struggles me to this day. To a much lesser extent, but it still struggles me, and even just a little bit, and the stage is very surprising to me. It maintains its difficulty even after you've done it before. At least to some kind of extent, which is something that all bosses should do, in my opinion. It should still be difficult after the first time you do it. It doesn't have to still be hard, but it's just, well, it doesn't have to still be hard for you. But it should still be able to be played, enjoyed, but you don't have to suffer on it anymore not knowing what to do, but neither do you, and I died again, but neither are you experiencing something that's not fun because of it, because it's so easy. It's that balance of game difficulty that gives this one a spot in the series. Alright, this is the one. This is the attempt straight into him. Get some of those orbs off of him. Find Eggman, who comes in at the bottom. Wreck him, drop the ruby onto Heavy King. Is that this guy's name? I'm trying to remember. This is Heavy King, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Heavy King. We're just gonna go with that. Also, I noticed you have to double jump in order to leave the ground and start flying, which can also be misleading because you have to triple jump to do the boost, and the boost makes you lose rings. So I keep thinking I'm gonna boost whenever I jump off the ground, and it gets me all confused and messed up. Man, what's my main complaint with this battle? Other than that, I can't really criticize this too much, other than being kind of frustrating at times, especially when you're first doing it. And other than that, yeah, nothing else to say. The timer is the true difficulty in this level. Well, not as much as it was in Sonic 3. You have to deal with these big orbs, dealing quite a lot to you, making you lose rings. Unlike Sonic 3, where you would get knocked back, but you would never lose your rings. Your rings were only lost by your time. So, which one's better? That's up to the player. For me, I definitely like having the difficulty of time more than having to worry about projectiles in this particular fight. We should be almost done now. If this, we should be about done now. I was gonna look at the timer to see how long it's been, and I remembered there is no timer in this stage. It just flickers all up and down. Alright, final hit on Eggman. We hit Eggman one more time, we win. When it's us against the universe, we win. Yeah, we're done here. And for the final hit, dealt, the portal opens up, takes the Phantom Ruby out with us, and that's the end of Sonic Mania with this cool little cutscene of the Titanic Monarch blowing up. You get to see your main characters here. Most of the time, I'm pretty sure there's no changed version of this cutscene. You always see Sonic here, even though I beat it with Tails. That whole blowing up scene with Sonic is a reference to Sonic CD, and boom, that's Sonic Mania. Well, thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Thank you to my Patreon backers, and bye. I will see you in part 3 of Crazy Amazing Video Game Bosses.